Easty, what are your reflections on the game at Bradford?
Mixed, really. Obviously, we were leading until so late on, and then to concede and only walk away with a point, it was disappointing at the time. But looking back on it, we obviously dominated the first half, and Bradford dominated the second half. So it probably evened itself out, and look, we've come away with a point that could prove to be an important point against a big club in the league.
And it was an afternoon where you didn't really have too much to do, was it?
No, nothing at all, to be honest. I think they might have had one or two shots on target. So yeah, it's obviously it's disappointing, but that's the life of a goalkeeper, I suppose.
And I know you weren't one of the lads who put a load of K's into the legs in terms of running in that heat, but what was it like playing in that temperature and those conditions?
Horrendous. I had sunburn after everywhere. Oh, it was horrible. When we had we had water breaks. I walked straight over underneath the stand to try and get in the shade. So I can't really imagine what it were like for the lads who were running around.
How did it compare to Spain?
That was hotter, definitely. Yeah.
Looking ahead to tomorrow's match, they're a team who've scored a lot of goals, 17 in 7 league matches so far. Expecting a busy one?
Yeah, I think, like you've just touched on Bradford, I'm sure it might be a little bit busier, but I can only deal with what comes our way. So I think previously in all of his games, to be fair, we've looked organised, we've looked solid in defence, and we've limited the opposition's opportunities. So long may that continue.
Yeah, well, they've scored a lot of goals. I think only 2 teams have conceded less than us in the league so far. That must give you a lot of confidence as a defensive group.
Yeah, it does, definitely. And even I think you look at the Notts County game, that's the only game where I think we've conceded more than one. We end up with like a free own goal from Luke, and that loses the game. But no, I think we've been really good at limiting opportunities and obviously not conceding goals.
One of Wrexham's biggest threats will come from long throws from Ben Tozer. How can you prepare for that sort of thing?
We'll have a setup like the staff will have looked at it, and we'll have a setup to sort of combat against what they do. Obviously, a number of teams, sure as you may have seen, have long throws now. It's sort of become a common theme in League Two. So we go into every game knowing that there's probably going to be a threat from a long throw, and I think this is obviously a game where there's definitely going to be one.
And just looking back at last week's game ahead of this one as well, the first half we quietened down the home fans, and to the extent they were booing off Bradford at half time. How important is that to do tomorrow as well?
Oh, massive. The fans were really good last week, as to be fair, as they have been for every game, especially the travelling fans. They've been excellent, and I think the first half it were almost like we were the home side, to be honest. I know there were obviously a lot there, but the noise our fans were making, it really sort of upped our game, and like I said, it were pretty silent from Bradford's perspective.